capital. Next one we learned. America was financially in a very high position at the end of the First World War. Their investments needed some time for profits. Where America was a money lender to Europe after the war, so they needed some time for to get the profit. In the meantime, U.S. economy forced the government to follow some restrictions. So this resulted a steep decline in exports all over the world. Next one, we have learned about stock market crash in the United States of America. So the first huge market crash occurred on 24th October 1929. So more people wanted to sell their shares and dispose their stocks, but there were no buyers. So as a result, what happened? It led to the failure of the two large German banks, and also the Bank of England became financially ruined, that is bankruptcy. And next one, breakdown of the international system. So they wanted to improve the economy, so they make an increase in taxation, cutbacks in expenditure, but also the situation did not improve in England. So now the England wanted to leave from the gold standard. On seeing this, many countries also left out from the gold standard. So all the nations adopted a policy of protectionism and devaluation, which means protecting a country's own industry by taxing foreign goods, decrease in the value of a country's currency. So all these measures slowed the economy, and historians called it as the Great Depression. And next one is the repercussion in politics. That is something unpleasant. Unfortunately, something it happened. So this depression changed the political conditions in several countries, especially in England. The Labour Party was defeated, as well as in USA, the Republican Party was rejected by the people for about 20 years. So what the political change? That is the emergence of fascism in Italy and Germany. So we all know in that Mussolini, a forceful speaker, began to support the use of violence. In 1919, Fascist Party was founded by him, and the fascists moved to always violence freely. For fascism, many of the people gave that support. So they got the support from industrialists, nationalists, soldiers, as well as from the middle classes. And we are already learned in the timeline chart that 1922, what happened? Mussolini's march to Rome. So he organized the fascists to march on Rome, impressed by the show of force. At that time, the king was Victor Emmanuel II. He called Mussolini to form a government. And in 1924 election, they got 65% of the votes. And the opposition parties boycotted the parliament, as well as opposition leaders were killed or imprisoned. And in 1926, he assumed the title of second Deuce, and he became a dictator. And then he passed so many laws. In 1938, Parliament was abolished, and he replaced by a body called Fascist Party. And this new arrangement strengthened Mussolini's dictatorial control, and he became the head of the administration and the armed forces. And another important rising figure among the nationalists was the Adolf Hitler. So a group of 7 men met in Munich and founded the National Socialist German Workers' Party, that is Nazi Party. And one among them was the Adolf Hitler. During the First World War, he served in the Bavarian army. And in 1923, he wanted to capture the power in Bavaria. So this premature launch made him to imprison for 5 years. And in the prison, he wrote one autobiography book called Mein Kampf, that is My Struggle. And in his book, it containing his political ideas. And in 1932, in the presidential election, the Communist Party polled 6 lakhs votes, and Hitler, capitalists and property owners supported the fascism. So Hitler exploited this opportunity. And as well as same thing, how the Mussolini marched on Rome and he became that formed the government. As well as here also, Hitler as a chancellor in 1933. So the president at that time, the president was on Hindenburg. He called and he wanted to designate Hitler as a chancellor in 1933. And Hitler known as Third Reich, and he brought an end to the parliamentary democracy. And in his flag, he has swastik symbol. Germany was converted into a highly centralized state. All political parties except Nazi party declared illegal. And trade unions were abolished. Their leaders were arrested. Strikes were made illegal, and salaries were fixed by the government. Press, theater, cinema, radio, education were all comes under total his state control. And finally, what happened? Hitler's foreign policy aimed at restoring the armed strength of Germany and annulling provisions of the Versailles Treaty. So his deliberate attempts to breach that, he wanted to break up the agreements. What are the agreements laid in the Treaty of Versailles? He wanted to break up that. So to breach the Treaty of Versailles led to the outbreak of Second World War. Up to that, we have learned in the previous class. Next one is the anti-colonial movements in Africa. Colonization of Africa. The European colonization began after 1875. The war between the British and the Boers in South Africa, however, was in defiance of this resolution. That is, they did not obey. There was a refusal to obey somebody. Why we have to obey what are the rules given by the Britishers? Like that, there was a controversies. So the relations between the two British colonies of Natal and the Cape Colony and the two independent Boer states of the Transvaal and the Orange Free State had long been unfriendly only. Always they were having some controversies, disputes among them. The discovery of gold in Transvaal in 1886 led to the large numbers of British miners settling in and around Johannesburg. So the Britishers, they know there was a lot of gold deposits are there in Transvaal. So now they wanted to settle in and around the Johannesburg. So the Boers hated these people. Why? Because they are referred that British people as foreigners. So the question was whether the British or the Boers to be supreme in South Africa. So who will be the superior? Either the British people or the Africanists, that is the Boers. The Boer War lasted for 3 years. That is from 1899 to 1902. The first half of 1900, the Boer army was defeated. They followed guerrilla warfare, and the British destroyed the farms as well as the crops. What will happen automatically? There was a shortage of food, medical, and sanitary facilities, and it caused the death of 26,000 people in South Africa. And the British annexed the two Boer states. At last, the Union of South Africa came into being in May 1910. So when the colonization began, it was started after 1875. And what are the controversies between them, between the British as well as between the Boers? And the discovery of gold in Transvaal, when it was they discovered in 1886, and they wanted to settle in and around Johannesburg. And how they treated, who were treated as foreigners by the Boers? The British people. So who want to be a supreme power in South Africa? Either the British or the Africanists or Boers. So for how many years the war lasted? It was lasted for 3 years. That is from 1899 to 1902. And what tactics they followed? That Boers, they took to guerrilla warfare. And how many people were died? Nearly 26,000 people were died. And when the Union of South Africa came into being in May 1910, and the nationalist politics in South Africa. There are two main political parties are there. One is Unionist Party, another one is South Africa Party. The Unionist Party mainly consists of the British people, And South Africa party mainly consists of Boers, that is Afrikaners. And the first prime minister came from South Africa party and his name is Botha. So how many political parties are there? Two political parties are there. One is Unionist Party, another one is South Africa Party. And who will be dominating mainly there in the Unionist Party? British people. And here the Boers or Afrikaners. And who is the first Prime Minister? Botha. And he came from which political party? South Africa Party. Racist policy against the blacks. The Afrikaners pursued a harsher racist policy towards the blacks and the minority Indians. So an act was passed in 1923. It segregated, that is, it divided the people into black and white farmers, which made it impossible for the blacks to acquire land in their own country itself. So again, an act was passed in 1924. It prevented blacks from striking work. So they were prevented to make any strikes, as well as they should not join in any trade unions. So in 1923, they say an act was passed and it was segregated that black and white farmers, and the black people, they did not acquire any land in their own country itself. And in 1924 act, it prevented blacks from striking, okay, protesting. They should not do any protest and they should not join any trade unions. Likewise, the voting right to the blacks was also abolished. Totally, native blacks were suffered in all the spheres, that is in social, that is in society also, in economically also, as well as in the politics, in political line. So the voting right was denied to the blacks, and native blacks suffered in all the three spheres: social, economic, and politics. And another important one racist movement, that is called as the apartheid in South Africa. Apartheid, which means separateness. So there was a separate, according to the black and the white people. So the whole country was divided into separate areas for the different races. So white people, they lived in one place, as well as the black people, they were lived in one place. And education was also different from that of white people as well as the black people. Verwoerd was a prime minister of South Africa from 1958 to 1966. He was the main uh, main brain behind this apartheid policy. The African National Congress, that is ANC, was founded in 1912 and fought for the practice of the racism. So fought against the practice of the racism. So the ANC was banned and its leader was Nelson Mandela, was also put in prison because he also fought for that apartheid for the black people. So from 1958 to 1966, who was the brain behind the apartheid policy is Verwoerd. He was the Prime Minister of South Africa. And in which year the African National Congress was founded? In 1912. So mainly it was started to fought against the practice of the racism. And here, who is the leader of this ANC is Nelson Mandela. And this ANC was also banned because he was fought for the black people, and he was put in prison for 27 years. In 1990, this apartheid was abolished. The ban on ANC was lifted, and Nelson Mandela freed after 27 years. The Africans were allowed to vote. So already we have learned that they did not have that voting right. The blacks did not have the voting right. After this, ANC was fought for that. They got that voting right also. So the Africans were allowed to vote, and ANC. ANC means the African National Congress. They won the election, and Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. So this is about the colonization of Africa, what are the Boers wars we have learned, and what are the two important political parties existed, and what are the racist policy against the blacks, that is 1923 an act was passed, and another one 1924, and in all the spheres, socially, economically, and politically, the native blacks were suffered. And in 1912, ANC was founded, and who is its leader we have learned, and he was in prison for nearly 27 years, and in 1990 this apartheid was abolished, and the ANC won the election, and Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. The next one is India in the days of Great Depression. So we already learned that historians call it as a Great Depression, that is on 24th October 1929. The Great Depression of 1929 had a disastrous impact on British trade and business. So automatically the foreign investment was declined. So there was a bilateral trade, which is between two countries only we have to make the trade contact. That is bilateral trade treaties between Britain and the member states of the British Empire were signed. And the government of British India also raised the revenue tariffs, that is more number of taxes. The Great Depression also dealt a death blow to Indian agriculture as well as the indigenous manufacturing sector. The volume of farm produce was declined. So what are the products they are producing? That value was declined, but the rent of the land was remained unchanged. If they whether they are getting profit or loss in the profit or loss, but they have to pay the rent for the land as a same thing only. So the value of farm produce was declined, but the rent of the land remained unchanged. So there was a great fall in prices, prompted the Indian nationalists to demand protection for the internal economy. So there was a call given by the Congress for a civil disobedience movement, evoked a tremendous response in rural India. So these are the days during the India faced during the Great Depression. Next one is the Great Depression in South America. The situation created by the Great Depression made it impossible for oligarchy regimes, which means a small group of people having control of a country. So that is called as a oligarchy. In Mexico, there was a violent social protest involving dissatisfied segments. So there was a dissatisfaction among the people of oligarchy, middle class people, as well as the peasant communities. So there was a violent protest involving this people, that is oligarchy, which means what? A small group of people having a control of a country, and the middle class people as well as the peasant communities. And that Latin America protested American intervention and disliked their dollar imperialism. The meaning for the dollar imperialism is the term used to describe the policy of the United States of America in maintaining and dominating over the distant lands through the economic gain. Economic means they are giving finance to those who are in backward in financial status. So slowly they are giving the money and they wanted to dominate that country. So that is called as the dollar imperialism. So Franklin, so at that time, during that Great Depression, so at that time, the president of the USA was Franklin D. Roosevelt, shortly called as FDR. So in his good neighbor policy agreed that the United States would not intervene in the internal affairs of any state. So he make one policy, that policy called as a good neighbor policy. So in that policy, they given one state that no one, that the United States should not intervene in the domestic affairs of any state, and would give economic and technical assistance to the Latin America. So this is the final one. So how they faced the Great Depression in South America. So this topic, the world between the two world wars. So we have learned about what are the introduction we have learned, and what was the Great Depression, how the developments in the post World War I, withdrawal of American capital, stock market crash in the United States, breakdown of the international system of exchange, repercussion in politics, rise of Nazism and fascism, emergence of Mussolini, fascist under Mussolini, Mussolini pact with Pope, that is Lateran Treaty in 1929. We have learned now in the timeline chart, and Italy during the Great Depression, as well as the Nazi state of Hitler, Nazi policy towards the Jews, that is nearly 6 million Jews were killed by the Hitler, no, that one, and defiance of the Treaty of Versailles. That is how they were breaking the rules and regulations of the Treaty of Versailles. Next one only we have learned about the colonization in South Africa, in Africa, anti-colonial movements in Africa, that is Boer Wars, what are the national politics and racist policy against the blacks, and how India faced during the days of the Great Depression, and how the agriculture was also affected during this Great Depression. At last, the Great Depression in South America, that is the dollar imperialism, which means what? The term used to describe the policy of the USA in maintaining and dominating over distant lands through the economic aid. Okay, next, this lesson we completed, and your activity work. Our activity work is already I gave the timeline chart. No, you have already written it as a home test. Now you can frame n number of one word. Either it may be a question answer or it may be a fill up. Okay, so you can make it and send it to me, and later I will send one words to you, and we can make a home test also. Okay, so for some of the terms I have given the meaning also for that. So while revising that, you can make that meaning also, then you can easily understand that concept, and you can frame one word answers. Maybe it will be in fill up, that's enough. Okay, so make it in a small sentences. If you make n number of 1 mark answers, that it will be very easy to understand the concept, as well as you can make the question framing. So that's your activity for this unit 2 lesson. Okay, okay children, so make it, and you can take 2 days time, because of the whole lesson you have to going to prepare. You can make it 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, choice is yours. Okay, you can make it, and you can make the timeline chart. Apart from that, I have given some 5 timeline chart only. That is from 1922, Mussolini's March on Rome; 1927, formation of Vietnam Nationalist Party; 1929, the Great Depression; 1933, Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany; and 1935, Mussolini invaded Ethiopia. Apart from that, we have learned some of the important acts also. No, so that also you can make it as a timeline chart. So you can make timeline chart as one activity. Another one, framing the question answers either in one word. Okay, that is either in question answer or in the fill up pattern, you can make it. Thank you children.